location either, whatever that thing's called. The post.
Yeah.
So I need to run out there and do that at least at some point.
Yeah, that's true. I've got a bunch of explorers and that I can do too. I just figured I'd wait till I had a few minutes and a lull in XP and then I'd go for it.
Right. Yeah, this 2,000 kicking in every time you find a little snowflake isn't bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. All right, hello, and welcome to Friday afternoon.
Hit point challenged or whatever. That's a lot easier way to just run to snowflakes.
Nice. All right, I'm officially live here, so hello and welcome to Friday afternoon here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/Dungeons & Dragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. Welcome to your lengthy weekend. If you got the extra day off on Monday, hope you have good plans for it. Maybe they involve DDO, maybe they involved Kenneth Crafting. We do have a double XP event going on. We do also have double bonus points active, so that may be something to take advantage of as well. I did just talk to Tolero. It looks like we had a little bit of an implementation issue, so we're going to be extending the double bonus point sale through the 11th rather than through the 10th. So basically an extra 24 hours to make up for the issues we had yesterday afternoon. I'm on Orion, and I'm going to be continuing the battle for Evening Star. I'm kind of semi-flagging for Caught in the Web. Just got my first character on Orion into epic levels, so I'm going to be doing that sort of thing. Ooh, legendary. Guess I better go for that. Let's see, otherwise, I've just got kind of a nice... Man, another legendary. I'll take that. It's all working out pretty well for whatever guild I'm in. It's weird. 3 legendaries in a row? Speaking of guild renown, feel free to congratulate me ahead of time. Congratulations, Flower Sniffers of Destiny, who on Thelanis will be hitting level 150 and getting the world broadcast this weekend. If it doesn't happen tonight, maybe around midnight-ish, it'll probably happen either Sunday night during Even's stream, streaming with Even here on DDO stream. Otherwise, we're probably just gonna run some sagas on Monday if we need to. So that's cool, hitting 150. It's been a long time coming. We are very much a casual guild, so, you know. Takes a little while for that stuff. But it should be pretty fun. It'll be nice, being level 150 with the guild there, so. Anyway, I hope you've got some cool plans for the weekend. Yeah, it's true. I bet, like, Europeans, they don't get Labor Day off. But you didn't, if I recall correctly, Europe has largely had a bunch of time off in recent weeks. It's kind of like the end of summer, hey, I guess we don't need to work after all kind of thing that happens in Europe. But yes, Labor Day, Monday. Let's see, what else could I mention? Ooh, I've got my D&D game tonight. Part 1 of 3. We did have a mini episode right the Friday before Gen Con, where I kicked off a little campaign I'm doing. It's not really a full campaign, it's really kind of more of a mini campaign, I guess you'd call it. It's a 3-part series, beginning, middle, and end, that I'm doing with a group of folks like Tolero, her husband, Zerka, our engineer, and her husband. Another engineer named Daryl. So a bunch of DDO peeps. I'm actually getting to flex my DMing a little bit in a little mini adventure based very, very loosely on Storm King's Thunder. 5th edition D&D. And I say extremely loosely, as in basically all I did was grab some names, and it has to deal with giants. And that's literally the extent of me using the source book there. Got my own thing going on. It should be pretty fun, though. I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's going to be very cool. So the first session was really character creation, and then, like I said, we had about half hour, 45 minutes to just kind of get the story rolling. So today will be our real first effort going full bore on the 3-part campaign. It's something I actually tend to do as a Dungeon Master, just because I have a lot of people in my life who want to DM and that sort of thing, and so rather than do, say, like year-long campaigns or multi-year campaigns as DM, I like sometimes switching off, and so we're in a lull of our campaign right now, where we had just finished up Temple of Elemental Evil after, geez, almost like 2 years. And I was like, well, before we get started on a new thing, why don't I, maybe you guys will give me a chance to just kind of do my own little mini campaign. So we're doing that, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I've been planning this one in my head for about a year or so. The core of the story came to me. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. For me. And hopefully the players too. At some point I'd like to stream a D&D campaign session, but not this one. Yeah, we've been having some good remnant luck there. Oops. Yes, I am ready for the long weekend. I actually do not need to mow the lawn this weekend. I got my laundry caught up, so other than a little bit of dishes and a little bit of house cleaning, I have got the whole weekend to just relax. I've got no plans. No major plans anyway, so I think this is going to be veg out on the couch and play lots of video games, except I don't have a couch. Veg out in a comfortable chair and play video games weekend, which I'm really looking forward to. I'll probably be doing a little bit of live streaming on my personal, I guess to just advertise my personal slightly. It is twitch.tv/mockduck. It's my non-DDO and non-Lotra channel. It also is a channel that's set up so I do not talk about DDO or Lotra on those channels, because I don't want anyone who plays these games to feel like they have to check out my personal garbage. But you can give that a follow if you'd like to. I've been trying to kick off actually doing a little more streaming lately with it, and so that's been fun. Ah! Mostly like PlayStation 4, PC games, old games, things like that. I do play a lot of other games. I do play a ton of other games. I've been a gamer, you know, since the early 80s, really, with the Atari 2600. So I play a ton of games. It's one of the bigger challenges of my life, is trying to fit time in for other games while clearly spending a lot of time on DDO and Lotra and doing all the work there that I need to do. So it's kind of a never-ending balancing act. But I do. I play a lot of weird games on PlayStation 4 and PC. If you're looking for Call of Duties and that sort of thing, I ain't the channel for you. I also play a lot of board games, although I'm in a position in my life where I don't really have too many friends that live near me. that also play board games, so it's a little outside of the office. I get most of my game playing in the office here. Outside of the office, I don't have enough peeps to really do a lot of board gaming at home, which is a bummer, but, you know. I know, right? First world problems to the core, Jeffrey. Yes, so this is absolutely true. But, so, you know, for a long time I just didn't stream on my personal, because, you know, I get home from work and sometimes you just... I don't really feel like being in the public eye anymore. But lately it's been kind of fun, hooking up, like, PS4 and things like that and playing that. So I've been digging that. Gives me a chance to show off some of the weird games I like. No, I never played Space Station 5, but I have, I mean, if you want to, like, here's a rundown of all the consoles I own. I have an Atari 2600, an NES, an SNES, a Sega Genesis, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4, PlayStation VR, PSP Vita, 3DS, and a computer. So I do tend to play a lot of games. Can I tell you more about the Lomani Build next week? Yeah, that sounds cool. So the Lomani Build next week, and it's not promised for next week, but that's our goal. We're going to probably take Monday night's build, because a couple of folks are coming in over the weekend to do a little work on things. So we'll be taking Monday night's build, and assuming that all checks out, then we should be good to go by Friday. If any kind of problems come up, then we'd have to do a rebuild, and that would probably push it out past Friday into next week. So tentatively, we're set for potentially like a week from today, and going live with our next update, point update, 36 patch 2. And that's going to be the cleric domains, it'll be the favored soul work, and it's going to be a bunch of bugs. And that's really all we have for that one. Behind the scenes as well, it does have some Mimic Hunt work. So assuming that all checks out, I think we're basically good to go on the Mimic Hunt. So just a matter of getting it scheduled and the promotional gears in place. So that's cool. So that's basically 36-2 in a nutshell. We have the, really what I guess you could call the last of Linabelle's work, because, you know, her last day was last Friday, and she was able to get in a bunch of work before she took off. So we'll see a lot of that there. Along with other bug fixes. She's not the only one who was doing bugs. Oh, that's true, and now the Switch. Thanks, George Fire, for reminding me I have a Switch too now. Yeah. When we submit tickets to InGame Support, what would be a reasonable time frame in which they might respond? I think it depends a lot on ticket load. It tends to go more so than account support or technical support. It tends to be a little more up and down based on the specifics of what's going on. So if we have a release in Lotro or DDO that's a little buggy, or if we got a problem with a specific quest or something like that, it can lead to some pretty significant time differences in that response time. But the hope would be to, well, there's a hope and then there's the reality. I think the reality is probably within 24 hours. And that's something we're hoping to improve in the future. we do track average ticket times on a week by week basis. So every Tuesday, we get in a room and kind of do a franchise static health check, and a part of that includes a ticket time sort of chart. Alright, let me see. Ouch! Sorry, Puff Granny. Very sorry to hear that. I am lucky that I have never broken a bone. I've dislocated my shoulder, and that was one of the most painful things I've ever done. But I've never broken a bone, so... Ouch. True. DragonCon this weekend. I'm not going. If any peeps are at DragonCon this weekend, hope you have a good one. How common is it that when someone does an epic reincarnation, then true reincarnation, they do not get their epic reincarnation feat? It's very rare.
You've secured most of the village from drow patrols.
You should get it.
It's time to find the field headquarters and destroy it.
Can I give us any info about Samar? Like, will it be an iconic? I don't believe we currently have plans for an iconic for it. Otherwise, you know, we're really going for the source book here, so to the extent you've seen Samar and pen and paper, it should be hopefully pretty similar to that. It also does depend on the issue in regards to in-game support. If they can... So what we have an ability, and it's something that's used fairly regularly, especially as our response times tend to be a little bit longer, where we can flag, say, hey, when this character logs in, send a ping to customer service. And someone in in-game support can respond to you when you log into the game. So in those particular cases, it sometimes takes a little longer to get an issue resolved. It depends on what the issue is, too. Like, obviously, TR issue is a much longer process to resolve than, say, a stuck quest or something like that. Hey, Little Bill, nice to see you in chat, actually. Play on Galanda? I will eventually. I was there not too long ago. When was the threat range changed on the Kopesh and why? Threat range wasn't changed on the Kopesh, not that I'm aware of. I can't think of one. What leads you to think that it's been changed? Should still be 18 to 20. Do I have a Kopesh in my inventory? Oh. Oh, I don't know. Guess I haven't even thought about that in a long time. Is there any way to access Asheron's Call just for fun? I don't believe so. You know, that's not a game we have any control over anymore, but I don't think so. So is LOM coming up for U36.2 or just outright release? Should be Lomani. Potentially, like I say, the end of next week.
A huge hole.
Any thoughts on Mysterious Remnant rewards for new ones? Yes, that would be cool. I haven't heard of any real plans to do that, but our itemization is a little on the busy side, what with Ravenloft and such. But never say never on that kind of thing. Renwa, feel free to talk about all the things you broke before you left last week. It's perfectly fine. I give you permission. You can only talk, though, about all the things you screwed up. No, I'm kidding. Any classic dungeons getting revamped or turned epic? No. We're really focusing on newer content at this point in the game's life. I would never say never on that. You know, we do have some that would be neat, like, say, Lord's March and potentially Restless Isles and, you know, Titan and things like that. But really, it's not on our agenda here. Alright, so let me head over to YouTube. 2 Big Macs, Yoo-hoo, and lunchtime DDO. Life is good. That does sound like good way to spend a Friday. What time do I stream on my personal? It's really flexible. I tend to... My recommendation would be to just give the channel a follow and you'll get an email notification. I sometimes post about it on Twitter and that as well. But part of the reason I really haven't started a regular schedule like I probably should on my personal is it tends to be a little more spur of the moment, like, hey, maybe I'll just kind of kill some time and stream for a bit. I also want to try to not do it because, you know, I do work for SSG and we do have promotional goals with Lotro Stream and DDO Stream and such. So I try to be careful not to do it when other people on our games are streaming on the official. So it tends to be a little more flexible than that, because especially on the Lotro side, get a lot of streamers on Lotro Stream. And so finding a time to stream when they're not streaming is proving to be a little challenging. So I tend to be a little more kind of haphazard with it all. But in general, it'll be night times, because I get home from work, eat dinner, do whatever other work I need to do, then sit down and play games for an hour or two. So I'm going to say probably weekdays, sometime between 9 and midnight. And then this weekend, potentially Saturday night, maybe? Although, actually, you know what? Saturday night, I'm doing a thing with Druid's Fire on her personal channel. Road Rage. She's calling it, and I like it. Her and I are going to face off in Mario Kart for the Switch, Mario Kart 8. And I'm going to show off my intense driving skills with weird cartoon characters. So that'll be on Druid's Fires, starting at 8 o'clock. I'd still love to see an update to Tower of Despair. Yeah, I mean, that's certainly one that we could do as well. To be honest, there's kind of a never-ending supply of old stuff we could update. But, like I said, we're really kind of focusing on the new at this point in the game's life. We want to do classic packs. We just have a lot of stuff we want to do that doesn't really involve going back to the older stuff. Sorry. We will conquer!
The village is safer now, though Cormier will never be
Nice.
entirely safe, while Loth schemes against it.
You know, I thought we took care of that. Still seeing some prefixes not show up on cloaks, huh? It's a bummer. We need a space hamster as a pet companion. I like it. Yep. We don't have any models for guinea pigs, though, or anything like that. Hamsters. So it might be a little more work than it's worth. But woohoo! What was the thought process behind making the Reaper eyes and wings not continue through reincarnation? It wasn't a deliberate thought process, it was just how it had to work. Because we implemented them as feats, and feats get reset when you true reincarnate, we weren't able to preserve it through reincarnation. So instead we just allowed you to we allowed you to do it just by purchasing from an NPC, so that's why it's done that way. So it wasn't really a deliberate thing; it's just sort of a practical matter or technical matter. And in terms of the cost, I think it probably was down to people saying that plat is useless, and someone said, "Oh yeah? Okay." You know, it happens like that. Is that a dead Ferrum I saw the other day in a quest? It might be. I don't know why it wasn't implemented as a past life feat. My guess is it had something to do with the way it's gated. Any news on a Tarrasque? No. I think Neverwinter might have that one. Could there be a chance for a Tomb of Annihilation update? I don't think so. Mostly just because our plans aren't really conducive to that at this point. I'm not opposed to it, but I just don't think so. In terms of what about this one or that one, any old classic pack is definitely something we could theoretically do. Trust me, our list of, man, we should totally do this, is huge when it comes to classic packs. Because we've all got our personal favorites, we've all got ones we want to do, and there are just so many good ones. So, will we ever see this or that particular one? Well, it's kind of hard to say, but... No! Guess I better chug a potion here. So I don't die in the water in the King's Forest. There we go. No, I don't. We're not doing a level cap increase with Ravenloft. We're going to be at 30 for a while. You know, 30 is D&D. It's a D&D thing. That's not to say we could never do it, but it's not really something we're going to be doing anytime soon. What letter are you talking about, Titan? Steelstar mentioned in a letter. What letter did Steelstar write? I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel much power inside these strange fragments ye call dragon shards. No wonder Loth seeks them for her own plans. Why are they only found on Eberron, I wonder? Oh, but that is a sage's question for another time. Right now, we must make sure she cannot use them.
We have not at all said anything about when Ravenloft is being released, other than what's already like on the forums and that, which is later this year. Daggers down, what is that? So, in DDO, you know, people have their daggers, you know, up with the swiping animation. The dagger down will be like an assassin dagger. So, you know, it'll be like, you know, swipe across, almost martial arts style. It'll be stabby, you know, like assassin style. And that'll be in the Vistani Knife Fighter. Man, look at all these chests. After Ravenloft, what are some of the by the end of the year goals? Druid Pass by the end of the year? I'm gonna say probably not on a Druid Pass by the end of the year. Frankly, I think probably end of the year is going to be post Ravenloft. I think so. It'll be the point updates after Ravenloft, and I wouldn't expect to see update 38 until probably maybe anniversary time frame, something like that. But who knows? We'll see. Will Dagger Down apply to Kukris? Good question. I don't know. I'm going to say probably not. I think it's... I think it's specifically tied toward daggers rather than kukris. But also thrown daggers as well. Oh, not upside down, but I think the tree also does have some things for, like, thrown daggers. But not kukris. Someone on Facebook here is saying, is it possible to create more randomly placed dungeon or trap panels? Often everyone knows where the panels are, and it could be a lot more fun and interesting to have random traps generated. We can. We developed some tech for that we were able to really utilize in Against the Slave Lords that allows us to do a little bit more of that kind of thing. Trap panels, though, I think need to be placed in the world builder, basically placed non-randomly. Is that right? I don't know. I'd have to ask an engineer, or ask one of our systems folks. I think generally, yes, we would like to do more random traps, but I don't think in general they're going to be trap panels. Rather, they'll be like floor traps and things like that. As a matter of fact, I think Flimsy Firewood for Ravenloft has got something cool along those lines coming. Thank you. Linnabill says, panels are static options are tied pretty intrinsically to a static location. Yeah, see, that's what I thought, but then I was like, man, there's got to be some quest in the game that can have panels in one or a couple of locations. So, I don't know. But I think in general, correct. I will trust the Linnabill. Yeah, Flimsy has been cackling madly. Oh man, you know too, Linnabill, because you were here when he's been working on it. That is going to be one heck of a dungeon, I think, or two, in Ravenloft. Oh, that's a good point. I will try to remember, Linnabill, to when we get time to update the anniversary dungeon to make sure you're in it.
The Drow have fought with mithril and magic to keep you away from this portal gate, but they have failed. Through it, you can strike directly at the evil city of Shindarin.
We'll put you inside of the cake. You'll be like, surprise. Yep, oops. Ah, Lords of Dust has a panel that's in two places, either or. Yeah, see, I thought so. I thought so. Someone sent me a tell about that. Daggers down with a bastard sword. No, I don't think so. You can be a thief acrobat and full vault with it, yeah. Would it be possible to have a community dungeon building contest with a public build of the dungeon making tools? No. There's no... I think if you actually look at our proprietary world building tools, they are just not conducive to any kind of community-created dungeon placement. When we say handcrafted, we mean a lot of handcrafting. It's not at all just sort of like grab and drop or anything like that. When will Daggers Down become available? The goal is to have the Vistani Knife Fighter released with Ravenloft.
This is one of the gateways for which Shindelrin has become known as the City of Portals. It leads to the furthest reaches of the Underdark, the surface realms, and beyond. The Drow regularly use such portals, returning with plunder and slaves.
I would love to see a Drunken Master... Oops. Titan, I too would love to see a Drunken Master tree in DDO. I am totally down for that. I love Drunken Master. That's one of my favorite martial arts films, and I think it would be really rad. It would be clearly, obviously, a lot of animation work. So, maybe not. But it would be really cool. Alright, so we're good to go here.
Through the bars of this portcullis shines the dim glow of House Dunrobar.
Any word on the throwing mug? Only that I've talked to the team about it. I've said, yeah, we totally need to have a mug of ale that you throw. And they were like, yeah, that would be great. So.
Spell does its work.
Are we ever gonna get drow hand crossbows?
As you walk by, you are no more than a lowly servant in there. The courtyard of House
That'd be cool.
opens up before you. The sounds of practicing this
I have
spell
not
is used to
heard
summon all
of anything like that,
Dunrobar
though.
for demonstrations, tests, and ceremonies. The passages of Dunrobar are quiet and spare, a testament to the martial discipline of the house.
Well, Pebblebonk clearly knows where we're going. It's almost like people farm this quest. Yeah, I agree, Steelmaster. I mean, I think we like the idea of randomly placed traps as well, because it does add an additional difficulty to it.
The personal quarters of Dunrobar's martial leaders boast vaulted ceilings and imposing pillars. Beyond them are the matron's chambers. You spy a weapons rack by one door that must belong to the High Battlemaster himself. Battlemaster Teblin's prized blades are ruined. All that remains is a paperback note.
no word on getting the Von Drow into Monster Manual. I don't think anyone's even had time to look at that yet. Hey, Ephasus. Nice to see you. We don't have a release date for Ravenloft. The most we can say is we want to get it out later this year.
The bell reverberates in the courtyard and throughout every corner of the Dunrobar compound. Suddenly, an angry voice booms from up above.
Yeah, Hipporan, I don't think it's going to get done this year, mostly because we're busy working on Ravenloft under a fairly tight deadline. But I do think we're going to see the return of Eternity, the Spectral Dragon, from the Maybar event at some point in the future. Like I say, probably not this year, but hopefully, you know, year after or something like that. Because we'd like to do that too, and we've said we wanted to do that. It's just a matter of, you know, if we want to try to get Ravenloft out on a time frame that is unannounced but might make sense for anyone who looks at the calendar. You know, I don't think we have time to do a lot of Night Rebels work. No. Someone... Titan, are basically the name dev mobs from the anniversary event supposed to be recorded in the Monster Manual? No. In general, and I know we're not always consistent about this, but in general, event mobs should not count in the Monster Manual. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we definitely have heard the voices of people who would like to either have different bears or bear dyes, you know, of some various kinds. I really can't say what the odds of that coming to fruition are. Potentially. Yeah, I do think deco placement is probably the longest task in content creation, in terms of just sheer amount of hours it takes. Someone in chat basically saying, could we just have an event mob give a special item? I mean, we could. Generally, our events have their own form of kind of incentive and itemization.
Maiming and Shatter. Knocked out the user.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Does anybody want that weapon? The Drow short sword?
Yeah, mocked up probably.
Yeah, I'll take it, for sure. When are artificers getting a heal arm, a rune arm that heals? I like it. That's pretty funny. Probably never. But that is funny. I love it. So I only have about 5 minutes here. Not enough time to really do much. So I think I'm just going to kill a little time in Shindy here. Just getting a few slayers and such.
Okay.
Titan, you and your Sonic. You just want Sonic everything. No Sonic for you. I think the idea of a healing rune arm is hilarious, but I don't know. I do have a swashbuckler on Sarlona, and one of the past lives I have on Thelanis is a swashbuckler as well.
Deeper and deeper into the Underdark, down into places that even the Drow fear to tread. Falling into its depths would most assuredly be suicide.
Go.
It is Lolth's will that you gather the slaves and sacrifice them at the temple. We honor her with blood and fire. Many will die in her name. It will be glorious.
Unlike the other noble houses, House Savathul resides away from the central ziggurat and close to its merchandise.
I'm trying to remember where the scrolls are around here.
This gateway leads close to the surface world. Leagues above
I seem to recall. It's a little hard to see on my monitor here.
into the city is locked
But-
and barred. There are no signs of any mechanism to unlock or open either portcullis, preventing you from entering the rest of the city.
Thanks, Linabelle. Have fun. Corrupt a wish. Yes, we have a rune arm that heals. It only heals undead. Man, somewhere up here there is one of these scrolls, and now I gotta remember where it is. Here it is. Okay.
Your matron may be the eldest among our allied houses, but surely even you can see that fighting over the spoils of our victories on the surface dishonors us all. We can decide who gets what land and magical artifacts later. Avathul would like to share. Of that, you can have no doubt.
Yeah, we need to have a sun raid. It's a summer event where the sun is going to smash into Eberron, and we need to destroy the sun. Like on a per server basis, the sun gets closer and you have to do some kind of thing like kill mobs or whatever to prevent the sun from hitting the earth, hitting Eberron. That's my kind of summer event. I like it. Any updates on the store being in-game instead of the external browser? Yes. Hopefully that'll be coming with update 21.2. There's one final piece we need to work on, and that is an issue with the way DDO browser helper.exe, the equivalent of Locha browser helper.exe, is compiled so as to minimize the chances of antiviruses flagging it falsely. Once that's in place, then I think we're ready to go on it.
The portcullis blocking this gateway is locked and barred. No amount of roguish ingenuity will open it.
Majora's Mask of me. Nice. Yeah. Alright. Alright, I think I'm going to have to call it here then. Thank you very much for watching Friday afternoon here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/DungeonsandDragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. If you look at our calendar, you'll know that we actually do have some openings for streams. Things are a little on the light side. We kind of ebb and flow on our calendar, and our calendar's a little on the light side right now. So and now would be a great time if you are into streaming DDO, if you have a little bit of practice doing it, and you would like to stream on our channel, get in touch with me, either through Twitch or through Facebook, the official DDO pages on Twitter and Facebook. You can also get in touch with me through the forums. I'm Cordovan on the forums. Or frankly, you can just send an email to ddo@standingstonegames.com, and I will see it. So just, if you think that might be something you're interested in, let me know. Play on Canis sometime? Yeah, I will be. So after I'm done with Orion, it'll be Sarlona, then Thelanis, then Wayfinder. And then Argo, and then Kenneth. So, be a little while before I get to Kenneth. Alright, have a great weekend. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for playing DDO and checking out DDO stream. And I will talk to you next Wednesday for the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. Have fun. Thanks everyone in game too. I appreciate you being here.
Take care.
Thank you for running.